Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I think we're pushing 25, 26 on the live stream count. Today, I thought we'd do something a little different. A little while back, we had this really fun flight where we were doing all sorts of bouncing around on small little islands in the Caribbean. And I said, well, it might be kind of fun to try to go ahead and do this in a slightly different location. So today we are here up in northern Scotland, and basically have this neat little set of little tiny runways all kind of spread out all along this little area. And if you want to think of it as the Scottish Isles, we're basically going to make our way up. And when you see how tiny these things are, you'll understand why I went for the 152 today. This is the 152 Aerobat version, which is awesome. The big differences between this one and the one you're probably familiar with is we have a window in the top, which I think is kind of cool. We also carry a little less gas, and we have a much lower takeoff weight. So that's going to make things a little bit better for us. So as always, let's go ahead and get this bucket rolling so we can get on time. Pretty good length of our flight today. It's going to be a lot of little landings. It's going to be a lot of kind of back and forth, a little bit of scooting over the water. We'll take advantage of our low altitude because there's nobody underneath us. Have some fun with this today. So go pop on our master battery. Again, I love this thing. I've flown these things in the real world, which just makes them fun. You really got to like the person you're sitting next to because this plane is nothing as far as scale goes, and that makes it pretty scary. We'll make sure our bacon light is turned on. We're going to go ahead and snap this thing into the on position. Give it a couple whacks, and we are good to go. We'll go start warming this thing up nice and smoothly, and that looks pretty darn good right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek at what we're up to today. Looks like we have quite a few people joining us. They're all on that side of the airport. At figures, I should have probably got myself on the right side. Oh, welcome back, Smiley Bow. I probably should have got myself on the right side of the airport, but that's okay. For me, by the way, anybody who want to follow the same weather I have high-level clouds. Local time is about 11 a.m., which about the same time it is locally for me, just to make it easier. And for my winds here, they're pretty straightforward. It's just going to give me a little bit out of the west. So when we do go to approach some of these landings, just keep in mind, always act as if there's a westerly wind, and you'll do fine today. All right, looks like somebody's coming in for a landing there, so I'll give them a chance to kind of get out of our way. Oh, welcome back, Laffle Rug. I keep trying to call you Laffle Frog. I don't know why. It's just, I feel like there should be an F in there somewhere. Let's just chat. Oh, looks like he's got the Cadet. Excellent choice of aircraft for this today. It's going to be a nice low-speed flight. And again, mostly low altitude, a lot of practice. So it looks like we got ourselves in one of those. Excellent. Pretty much anything will do today. I would not recommend flying a jet. By the way, the inspiration for this flight came from our little chap over here flying, it looks like a 172. That's Simon. He recommended this zone because this would be kind of a fun little operation for us. So let's go ahead and get going. I love this window. That's just great. Okay, here we go. All right, give this a little bit of power. I see nobody else is coming in for landing here. Go ahead and snap things around. Looks like we have a VL3. This would have been my first pick for today, but I actually decided to go with this because it's a little more traditional. All right, for all these flights, we're going to use a short field takeoff procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and bring ourselves in our takeoff flaps, which is going to be 10 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and take the yoke and pull it all the way back to my chest, and we're going to go ahead and gently increase power. The reason we want to do this gently is we don't want to create a very angry weed whacker in front of us. All right, here we go. So with the way this works is that we simply accelerate at high speeds, and as soon as the nose wheel starts to leave the ground, we're going to just gently start to push our yoke just a little bit forward as it starts to lighten up. Again, the idea here is you're pulling a bit of a wheelie. And we are airborne and on our flight today. Excellent. I love this thing's cruise speed here. I'm doing, 35 knots, and it's climbing with no issue whatsoever. Go ahead and get myself a little teeny tiny bit of altitude. I love the big windmills there. Good to see, good to see. Going to pop up my flaps. Everything's looking good. Now, no retractable landing gear in this sucker, so I'm not going to worry about this too much. One of the great things about this flight, too, today is that your frame rates will be amazing, which I think everybody's going to appreciate, especially given some of the most recent updates. Also, the fact that Microsoft went and did a nice little update about Norway, and we did that a little while ago, so it's just kind of funny, that's all. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves on our way. You got to love these little teeny tiny roads here. Going to come swing this way. Altitudes today, we're going to keep on nice on the low end of things. Like I said, most of this stuff is pretty close to sea level. I don't know what the rules in the UK are, but in the US, as long as there's nobody underneath you, 500 feet is considered kind of your minimum. So we'll stay around about 500 feet or so. I'm going to go swing this way. We're going to pass over a pretty good sized airport right up here to the north. And that should be pretty much right on target here. Ooh, getting bounced around, no surprise. And we are on our way. It is very difficult to get lost here, unless, of course, if you see all ocean, just turn around, you'll be fine. All right, we are cruising. Let's see who's joining us today. We have X-Winger. I believe we saw you a little while ago. Vesper Way, a long time. Simon, welcome back. Laffle Rog, welcome back. Botil Roads, I believe, welcome back. Jimbo, welcome back. Head to the Shed, welcome back. Smoking Tire, welcome back. And now I can't make anybody's name out because everybody's all crammed together. We'll have to see exactly how that goes. I think I swing to my left just a little bit. We have brand new rudder pedals, so I'm still kind of getting used to them. So if you wonder why my nose goes like this all the time, it's because they are 1,000% more sensitive than other ones I used to have. All right, let's get moving. Let's see. Heading right now, our first destination is going to be, I'm looking it up right now, Echo Golf Echo Whiskey. All right, it's about 1,000 feet. Go ahead and bring the nose down. Give it just a little tiny bit of trim. We're going to skip our first landing here and kind of make our way right now to the next one. Right, looks pretty good. 1,000 feet feels pretty comfortable. So our original takeoff point was actually the runway we're coming up on right here. This is Echo Golf Papa Alpha. This is the major airport when it comes to major airports in this particular region. As you'll probably notice, it is not the biggest major airport that you've probably seen us fly over before, only on account of the fact that, it doesn't get a lot of traffic up this way. I imagine you probably get a lot of vacationers and things along those lines. Certainly not a lot of day trip. They're kind of far up north here. But it's pretty cool. If you look carefully, you can see that they have this little tiny offset runway, but the parking is right there, which is just like, whoop, gotta go. And of course, you have one canceled runway, and you have one regular runway there as well. And again, it's just kind of a neat little airport here, way, 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 way up north. Let's see if anything's good. It looks pretty good. I don't recognize that one. Nope, that's a 208. I'm just being lame. Okay, let's move. Now, of course, whenever we're traveling over water, that's never recommended on account of the fact that if we have an engine failure, we have to go swimming. Thanks, Chappelle. And we are all set. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be proceeding north here to Westray Papa Westray. That's going to be kind of in this general direction. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff on our way. Again, pretty relaxing flight. I'm on hold here at about 1,000 feet. Should be pretty good. I'm at full throttle, but this aircraft doesn't care so much, so I'm not really worried about it too much. We do want to get there eventually. All right, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Give it a little nudge there. Looks pretty solid. Checking everything to make sure it looks okay. Oh, awesome. Gotta love this thing. I mean, like, look, that, interesting. I don't know why those are so different. Are they actually different? No, just a hallucination. All right, let's take a look at the folks behind. Campesto, well, welcome. I just love this thing. It just kind of goes. It's not exactly, it has a calendar instead of an airspeed indicator kind of a thing, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. Now, the neat thing is, when I was actually checking for this flight a little earlier, I turned on real weather just to kind of get a feel for what this particular environment is like. And I was amazed to see just how incredibly windy it is. We're getting a little spoiled here now that we have these kind of like high clouds. But when I was testing it earlier, it was like nightmare conditions trying to fly around here. And I imagine even this time of year, it probably can get pretty darn cold depending on, again, what time of day it is and everything along those lines. Now, I got to think about this poor guy here. It's like, what if he needs to go to the market or something like that? I mean, he's got a pretty good sized town right there. But then you go one island over and it's like, but these people can only access this particular area either by air or by boat, meaning, we're talking about nightmare scenario. Again, going back to the Caribbean, but it's the northern version of the Caribbean if you want to think about it another way. There we go. Get ourselves all nice and lined up. Still can, Yura. If you want to meet us up at Echo Golf Echo Papa, we'll be there, and my math says we'll be there in 7 minutes, I think. And that will give us plenty of time to go ahead and start kind of coming in for landings and stuff like that. Now, an interesting thing is if we were flying over water, of course, in the real world, and we got stuck with a single engine, what we would do is basically spiral as fast and as high as we possibly can. And then if we did lose an engine, we could always coast down to the nearest island, which would be kind of our only safety method that we could possibly use here. Obviously, like I said, if we have fixed landing gear, when you land, you tend to hit this nose in the water and the whole plane flips this way, which is a real messy situation you don't want to be in. Obviously, of course, if you look at our door here, it's not that sophisticated, but it's you can't exactly climb out this window if you have anything hanging off of you. Fortunately, these chairs do get pushed back pretty darn far, so you can give yourself a little tiny bit of room to get through. All right. Yeah, I know. Once in a while, it's kind of neat to see sort of the edges of the map, so to speak. One of these days, we're going to have to do something like in Kamchatka or something like that, which is, whoa, boy, you want to talk about nobody's there. It's a very, very interesting part of the world. So basically, our flight today is going to take us up here. We're basically going to be hitting this island, like I said, like about 7 minutes or so to get to that point, and then we're going to swing around, pretty much hit this island, and we're going to come all the way up the side, and we're going to go ahead and land at each one of the different runways here. So like I said, since the wind is not terribly strong today, let's actually see what the speed is. Yeah, 6 knots at 271. Yeah, I don't think so. It's nothing. Since it's not terribly strong, we're not going to have to be panicking about some of these landings here. Sprint 955 Sierra Tango asks, where are we? We're currently in northern Scotland. Mainland is just right over here where these little mountains are here. Current altitude is a little about 1,100 feet, which means I'm not paying attention. Yeah, I am cruising around at full throttle, but these little engines on these things actually can tolerate this, as long as you don't put the thing in a dive. Total trip time. Oh, geez, you're asking me a tough question. Let's see here. Oh, man, I got to get out a measuring tape. Give me a second. Nice. Let's see here. So like I said, it'll be about 5 minutes to get to west. That's going to be here. That's probably going to be 2 minutes to land. 2 minutes to land. That's going to be 9 minutes. Swinging back down, that's 10 nautical miles at 104. That's going to be 2 minutes. That's 12 minutes, and that's going to be another 2 minutes. It's going to be 14. That's going to be 16. Let's say 40 minutes total flight today. Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's a pretty short flight. The individual landings are what's going to suck up our time here. Very, very, very precise estimate, Jimbao. Oh, Night Shrek is Shriek, I should say, is sneaking up there. He is a dot. I don't know what particular aircraft is a dot, but we'll do what we can. Reaper MD, welcome back also. Aerial Cruise, welcome back. Oh, nice. Mobius, welcome back. Mobius. Tucson John, also welcome back. One of these days, I should probably create some kind of a generic community page to just kind of keep track of everybody who likes to kind of cruise around these flights so people can vote on what flights they want to do and keep everything nice and efficient. If anybody knows an efficient way to... Oh, I keep saying the word efficient. Sorry. If anybody knows a good way to do that, I'll just kind of throw it up in the chat now. Maybe we'll see what we can do kind of a thing. I'm kind of limited on what I can do for social media, but I'm sure there's something that we could do. Ooh, check this out. I'm sure this guy loves having this in his backyard. This mountain is so creepy. It almost looks like a fire kind of ripped up the side. Chances are the satellite imagery for it was just taken when there's like a really strong cloud shadow. But this is just like dark mountain or something like that. Yikes. This is all VFR, correct. I don't want to do any IFR today. We've done plenty of that in the past. Kind of make my way gently this way. Apparently in the most recent update, they fixed a lot of the coastal stuff, so there's going to be less of the water wonkiness. That's a technical term, by the way. Oh, I love this. This is so cool. Oh, man. What if you have to get, like, petrol for your car or something like that? Like, where are you going to go? Yeah. This is just so cool. And this is, again, the other side of things. Love it. One thing I'm missing is sheep. This is so cool. Like, I'm going to go to my friend's house. How? Yeah, could do something like that. Like I said, I'm a little resistant to do Discord for other, like I said, social reasons. This is so cool. Love this. This is just, I love this. Imagine trying to get something, a parcel post up this way. This would be a nightmare. Trying to see what's going on here. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to get ready for our first landing in just a few moments. We're about 3.5 minutes away for those of you guys who are kind of keeping score here. Basically, if you come on this side, you're going to see an east-west runway for me right now. The winds are coming predominantly out of the west. So I'm going to go ahead and do a nice tight turn. This is the aerobatic version of the Cessna 152, so theoretically we could do an overhead approach. And just because we can, we'll go ahead and do an overhead approach, just make things exciting. An overhead approach is also known as a brake approach, depending on who you are. Generally, you can ask for this in the real world, but it's one of those things that don't do it if you don't need to do it kind of a thing. Command Monitor, oh geez, Daza, oh geez. Welcome to the Command Monitor Operations Group. Those folks have, that's been a lot for a very long time for me. I'm not going to go too crazy into it, but I love it, man. Thank you, awesome. Now, for some reason, I'm getting a notification that there's a boat somewhere behind us, but I don't see anything about it. That's fine. Rog, doing well. Head to the shed, doing well. And we're going to see how everybody does with their first major landing here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Swing to my left. I believe it's called Westray. All right, let's see if we can make out the runway from here. When I say that these landings are teeny, teeny, tiny runways, I am not joking. You're really going to have to hit everything on the numbers, otherwise you're going to overshoot. And I'm sure when we're watching everybody coming for a landing in a minute, you'll see quite a bit of that. Yeah, it's going to be right in here, I think. Yep, there it is. Oh, apparently they have teleporting windmills out here. It's a pretty nice new technology that Scotland's working. Yeah, Aria, I hate to say it, I am fuel throttle also, and I'm also on the 152. But it's okay. Once we start our landings, we're all going to bunch up real bad. Anybody who does any racing sims knows about the bunch up on the first corner. Okay, I'm going to get judged here. Great. My landings have been very bad lately. I've been putting together a series of DCS for folks who are brand new to it. And yeah, some of those are a little rough. It's definitely different physics when you're moving at those speeds. How's it going? All right, taking a look. I'm going to come right down here. It's going to be right on the tip of this, right here. Wait, do you see how tiny these runways are? It's going to be awesome. I'll make sure I point out the distilleries. All right, Eric, you're going to have to clarify. Also, welcome back, Eric. The distilleries here. Is that a hotel? That is awesome. Uh-oh, we're starting to pick up some folks over on this side of things. Okay, here we go. Oh, Sprint, welcome back also. Wow, we've got everybody today. This is excellent. All right, this has been the relaxing part of the flight. The stressful part of the flight's coming out in just a moment. Oh, apparently everybody just disappeared. Oh, geez, look at this. Mobius, this is amazing. Careful, careful. I think this is a modified airplane. Call it a hunch. Because most people don't fly with their landing gear down unless they're trying to go real slow. All right, here we go. Thank you. Yeah, you'll probably notice I've never in the history of my YouTube ever asked for a like or a subscribe. Scotch. Oh, got it. So, yeah, Scotch is an interesting beverage because it ranges in flavor between I burnt down something and tried to liquefy it through what is that? You know, that's kind of been my experience with it. Oh, don't worry, I'm landing in about 2 seconds here. Okay, so the overhead approach. I'll kind of draw this one out using my airplane here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the end of the runway as if we were going to fly over it. Let's pretend this is my runway. What you do is you take a very hard left turn and you spiral downwards as you drop your flaps down. And as you come out of the left turn, you basically do yourself a carrier landing. So you're going to go out and whoop like that and put yourself down on the ground. So it's kind of a neat little experience. Like I said, they call it the overhead approach. I also call it the anti-man pads approach in case anybody's trying to take pot shots. Sprint 955. Double check to make sure you're on the correct server. Right now, like I said, we're East USA in case you want to come join us. Whoa! Look at that. I just teleported behind you. All right, there it is. When I say a tiny runway, this is not even the smallest runway we're going to be landing on today. These are insane. Teutonic Fall 7, welcome back. Peter Holt. Oh my gosh, everybody's here today. This is great. Our last flight over Madagascar was just so quiet. And there may be some 4-engine rumbly-brumbly airplanes coming up for our next live stream also. All right, let's do it to it. So this, again, is going to be an east-west runway. Like I said, there's not much runway here, but you'll get a kick out of it anyway. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. It's kind of cool. There's like actually a collection of runways. Like if you look really carefully where this green line is, that's one, and that's one. They're all considered valid, especially for something this size. All right, let's do it. Got to go ahead and drop the power. Push that nose over. We only need to get down to about 1,000 feet. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do the overhead approach here. So I'm going to come out just a little bit to see here. But I'm not going to drop my altitude more than the traffic pattern altitude. This is really fun if you've never tried it. And of course, in the real world, you got to be a little careful. So the runway I'm going for is going to be tree 1. A little bit to the right. Look to the right. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. So it's got me basically right abeam where I want to be here. And we can come to our right just a tiny bit more. That looks good right there. Alrighty. So now what I'm going to do is instead of trying to land on that big chunk of grass, I'm just going to fly over the grass and then throw myself into a super tight traffic pattern. All right, folks, here comes the beginning of our dangerous landings here. Come around nice and easy. Obviously, there's a little concrete one if you want it, but hey, I'm a little plane. I can have some fun with this. All right, start reducing your speed just a little bit. And I'm not going to lose any altitude. That looks pretty good. I'm slightly beam here, but nothing too bad. Got to get our speed down to our approach speed so we can start dumping those flaps down like crazy. Take a look. You can see the runway. I'm a little off to the side. Oh, let's do this. Looks like you're getting a little slow there, sir. All right, looks pretty good right there. Bring the nose up a little more. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. All right, and let's begin the overhead approach. So what you're going to do is you're going to immediately fly all of your traffic pattern all in one giant spiral. So we're going to put the nose down. We're going to dump the flaps way, 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 way down. And we're going to push that nose down at about 500 feet per minute. You're going to have to basically fall off the sky. Now, the thing that makes this approach so quick is the fact that if we do everything correctly, we shouldn't lose any energy, or I should say we should keep our energy at the same time as not stall the thing out as we complete our aggressive turn here. And I can already tell you I'm not turning nearly sharp enough here. So there's my base. Going to go ahead and pull it over the rest of the way. And we're going to go ahead and put that nose down. And there's my approach to a landing. And that is an overhead approach. If you don't get a shot to do them, they are super duper duper fun. Love it. That's so much fun. You got to try that. God, I love that. All right, hit some brakes. We'll go ahead and turn ourselves around and get ourselves back into the ground. Excuse me. Okay, that's one. That was excellent. I love that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bouncy bounce all the way down to the end of the runway here, and I go ahead and get myself back in the air. Man, this grass looks great. It also looks like it would kill me if I hit it in the real world with this plane, but that's all right. Coming in good, coming in good. Bring myself back around here. Man, that's fun. I love that. Visual purple coming in, coming in, coming in. Yeah, I overshot it just a little bit. That was actually a little sloppy on my part, but I haven't done one of those in so long it's not even funny. Of course, doing it in the real world, it's like 2.5 Gs the entire landing, which is super fun. Okay. Let's go ahead and see how this chap puts himself down on the ground, and then we'll take back to the air. No judgments, no judgments, no judgments. Oh, careful, Gizmo, careful. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Everybody in the world's all watching this guy at the same time. Little fast, little fast, little fast. By the way, you know he's a little fast because his nose is down. All right, here he goes. Here he goes. Look at those flaps. Easy. Easy. Yep, you did what I did. You basically floated it halfway down. Gunk. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and get back going here. Anybody else lining up? Nope, everybody else looks good. Nope, USA PRs are taking a shot at it next. Go ahead and get myself ready for takeoff here. Our next destination is going to be right over the lake. I think you're off a little. Oh, that's a little too much. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. All right, let's get back going. Right. One notch of flaps. Woo, this is fun. All right, full power. Here we go. Again, like I said before, go ahead and hold that wheelie in. Just a gentle little wheel. You're just trying to keep that front wheel off the ground. And the aircraft will come up on its own. And we're airborne. Just whatever you do, don't snap those flaps up right away. Otherwise, it's game over. Nose out. Looks like we got plenty of clearance underneath us. Accelerate up to our little kind of climb speed here of about 65, 70 knots. And now we are on our way to our next destination. Not bad. That was fun. Man, that was fun. I love those landings. Nice steep turn right in a traffic pattern with 1,000 airplanes in it. Oh, yeah. Real safe. Real safe. All right. So our next destination is going to be Papa Westray. That is Echo Golf Echo Papa. When I say this is a short flight, this is a short flight. No, it's not live flying lessons, Mafiki. I just like to comment. I like to mansplain things, what my wife calls them. But it's perfectly fine. All right. We'll make our way up this way. Speaking of flight lessons, I've actually just gone ahead and made some arrangements so that I can finish off my own. Okay, so this is going to be another one, but we'll go ahead and do this one as a traffic pattern this time, as opposed to being a little bit goofy like we just did a minute ago. Whoop, just got past. Climb up a little bit. This runway is also terribly small. Now, I believe there's an interesting story about this airport in this particular route, but unfortunately, I'm not as savvy as one of our other flyers is here. All right, looks pretty good. That's about 1,000 feet. We'll go ahead and bring ourselves a little to the left here. And we'll go, that's way too close to the runway. Let's go ahead and take a look out the window. Yep. So our next runway is going to be this one right here. As you can see, it's got that little turnaround point at the end. Not going to do the overhead approach this time. We'll just do a regular one. All right, we cross the end. Go ahead and drop a notch of flaps. Look out the back. Yeah, I'm way too close to that runway, but I'm going to make the best of it. Make our way down. Again, second notch of flaps helps slow us down. This is the acrobatic version of this airplane, so it does tend to pick up speed. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick slip so I can peek. And there we go. It looks like we're in pretty good shape there. Come out just a little bit. This is going to be the world's tightest base turn. It's basically going to go base right for a landing. But luckily for us, we're coming in so darn slow, it's not even going to matter. All right, looks pretty good. Snap us around nice and smooth. Love this little island, which is like 90% rocks right there. Come swinging around. I'm going to be way off as I come around this corner. I can just tell you right now because I rushed it. All right. So now we are not lined up in any means of the word here. Got to bring myself back over to the right here. Okay, there we go. Actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Pretty bad, but not terrible. Look out the window. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I love how slow you can get this airplane. This is just ridiculous. So this one is half grass, half concrete that I'm going to be landed on here. You can bring this thing in like a helicopter. I'm doing 40 knots indicated right now. All right, land myself up at the end of this runway. This is so slow. I love it. All right, here we go. I don't think I'll touch down on the numbers, but I'll be pretty darn close. And down we go. Now that is a short runway. I love that. All right. That's what I was hoping for. Simon just went ahead and laid it down for us. Believe it or not, what we just flew was the world's shortest commercial flight in the world. It takes 1 minute. And I'd hate to know how much a ticket for that costs, but somebody else can probably look that up for me pretty quick. Uh-oh. He died. All right, that was fun. I like that little landing there. Gotta love it when you only need 600 feet to put the thing on the ground. All right, our next destination is going to be a little bit further down, but we'll fly at a nice low altitude to make things a little exciting for us. Slow down, kick it over. Of course, I'm blocking everybody behind me. Sorry. All right, let's go. Not a short field, so I don't have to worry about anything. Let's go. Kind of need a little bit of a right rudder there. I think I want actual runway this time as opposed to what I landed on last. Is that a twin-engine airplane? Interesting. All right, going up. All right. $33 to fly. Well, I guess it's better than taking a boat. So Simon was just telling us that the world's shortest commercial flight we just took, and it's cost $33 to cover the distance between those two islands by airplane. And I just find that's interesting. I love trivia like that. That's fun. I'm going to bring my way this way. Basically, you take off and then you land at the same time. All right, I'm going to swing this way, and we're going to proceed down to Eday Airport. And again, like I said, we'll take it nice and low this time to have a little bit of fun on the water. How low can you go before you panic and smack into the ocean? Let's find out what happens. I'm picking up all sorts of speed, bring up my flaps, make sure everything in the aircraft is running properly. All right, nice. Of course, it's in GBP, so I'm not sure. Alrighty, let's do some dangerous flying. Now, one of the things that makes this extra dangerous is the fact in the real world you have wildlife that would love to smack into your airplane when you're doing something like this. It's just kind of fun. Now, that was another one of the inspirations for our flight today. It's just something interesting like that. Now, if we try to put like a 737 through it, it would take ages to actually get back up to altitude and then come back around again. All right, folks, how low can you comfortably go? The trick here, by the way, is trim up. So if you let go of your controls to look at something, you accidentally go up and you don't go down. Oop, I gotta not look up. Uh-oh. Mobius is going for the low altitude operation here, but that's fine. Man, this requires way more concentration than you think it would, even though I'm only doing 120 knots. I feel like we're like, the X-Wings or something, like an attack formation about to do some like bombing of the island on the far other side. Yeah, this thing moves pretty quick. I'm getting $1.19 right now. That's pretty good for something that's only not that 115 horsepower, I believe. It is really hard to trim at this altitude. Now, one of the dangers of water, of course, is it creates an optical illusion. If you look down at it, you'll suddenly find yourself in it. This is the East USA server. All right, this is about 10.4, so we'll be there in about 2.5 minutes, which will be not too bad. Swing to my right a little bit. Nice. I don't want to go to third person because I have a really bad feeling about what's going to happen if I do that. Oh, I got plenty of room under me. This is only like 10 or 15 feet up. This is bad. I knew a guy at another airport that was near me who used to touch and goes on a lake with a Cessna 172, basically just to practice the whole, trying to get it nice and smooth. Don't recommend it. Kind of want to look behind me, but I'm kind of afraid to let go of my controller. Okay. Oh, this guy's brave. Nice guy, Tectonic Fall. Nicely done. Nice. Oh, careful, careful! Love it. Yay for trim. Of course, I looked down and I noticed that it was just descending a moment ago. Now, the cool thing is when you get super low like this, you get a nice ground effect, and it creates this really weird sort of like buffety, shakety thing. So if you're interested in joining Capisi, basically what you do is you join in with us. We're heading into Echo Golf, Echo Delta. Now, if you set your server to East USA, to do that, of course, you just go like this, press East USA, and if you set all players in your multiplayer options, you'll see us sitting there. Now, this will be, like I said, number 25 or 26 that we've done together here, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Oh, head to the shed. Now, are you related to Arthur Two Sheds Jackson? There's your Monty Python reference. Easy, easy into the... Oh my gosh, nicely done. Nicely done. Yeah, I don't have confidence on live YouTube here to get that low, but good for you. Good for you. If you ever do a DCS live stream, I'm sure we'll have to do something like this, but with the A10s. This requires way more concentration than I was ready for. Obviously, when we did Vegas and we were 10 feet off the desert through mountains, that was a lot of fun, but this is just like the water is just sucking me down, I swear. Water's always bringing me down, man. All right, let's go ahead and give it full power. Ugh, sorry, folks behind me. Going up. Obviously, this means negative G's, but this aircraft is equipped for negative G's, but that's perfectly fine. I'm going to just let go of my controls and float out of my seat. And there is an egg vacuum waiting for us at our next destination. This is Echo Golf, Echo Delta. There we go. Good morning, Bethany. All right, making our way down. This is an egg vacuum. I guess Lex, welcome back. Man, I've got everybody today. This is excellent. It's all good. All right, so this airport's pretty easy. We're just going to do a regular old approach here. We're not going to do anything too fancy. So we're going to cross midfield, and I'm going to be going for runway 25 because the wind is coming out of 27 today. So it looks like we got all sorts of folks already down there, pretty much getting ready to land. Again, I'm not doing anything too formal or too professional here. One of these days, I should get a little more formal and professional. But you know what? One of the things I like about the flight simulator is you actually don't have to do any of that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Egg vacuum is waiting for us down there. We're coming, Egg. Don't worry. We're coming. So we got a grass runway, and then we have the tarmac runway also. So I'm going to go ahead and cross this one. I'm going to go right for the tarmac runway, which is going to be that one right there. Start bringing everything down. Oh, I love this. Now, for those of you who've never tried flying in a small plane in the real world, it is quite the sensation. It's amazing. All right, let's go. Oh, no. All right. I'll bring myself back over to the left a little bit here. Looks good. Bring that next notch of flaps down. Bring ourselves about 500 feet per minute. And we're just going to make our way down nice and smoothly. Obviously, it's not 500 feet per minute, but I got to lose a lot of altitude because somebody was flying too aggressively in a place they shouldn't have been. Hate it when I do that. Now, in the real world, when you're coming in landings with those 30 people coming in, when the guy passes you is the moment that you're supposed to take your turn. So I don't see anybody. Oh, above diamond's got me. So here's how this would work. So what I would do is above diamond would cross. He's got to cross first. And as soon as he does that, then I would go ahead and make my turn. This is going to be one heck of a very, very tight base also. Again, I'm absolutely garbage. I'm not taking my time, but that's all right. Swing it around, give it a little more power. Oh, geez, that was garbage. Yuck! That's funny. And I'm looking in. Oh, this feels weird. Speed's about 60, which is about a little high for us. That's more 172 speed, but that's perfectly fine. Nice and low, nice and slow. Monkey chops. Let's do this! Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. That's funny. That's funny. Flaps down. Airspeed is a little high. Don't have to worry about retractable landing gear on a 152. I can actually coast from here. I'll pull the throttle all the way to 0. Everybody's judging me at the end of the runway here. And let's land right on the numbers. Nice. All right. Nicely done. Nicely done, everybody. Nicely done. Pull off the runway here. Make my way back to the end. Oh, careful, Botel. Yeah, so the airplane, one time when I was doing my first few landings, I think it was landing number 3, I came down a little hard on the front wheel, and the plane went back into the air. I bounced once, and then after I came back down, the flight instructor was like, oh, that counts as 2 landings. And afterwards, the front wheel, I swear I broke it. It started making the noise every time I accelerated, and it was just the fact that it was at a slight angle, so when we landed again, it went away. But it was one of those for half a second there, I thought it was going to have a $40,000 repair bill. Okay, let's get going. All right, our next destination is a very, very, very short flight. Not quite as short as the world's shortest little chartered flight, though, but it won't be too bad. Nice, here we go. Nice and gentle left turn here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my flaps. This is an extremely expensive lawnmower. That being said, there have been cases where they've used helicopters for the purposes of trimming trees, as insane as that sounds. I would not try to use this aircraft to trim a tree. We moved just a little bit too fast for that. All right, on to our next airport. This is so much fun. I am glad I'm not the neighbors. They probably hate us so much right now. Come over this way nice and gently, and we're going to make our way to our next big island here. We're going to Strance, which is Echo Golf, Echo Romeo. We're going to go ahead and climb back up to a normal altitude of about 1,000 feet here, and we're just going to enjoy our flight. Should probably take a look and see how many combustibles we have remaining here. This will probably be our second or third to last landing here. And we are right on course. Nice. It's weird. I haven't had to use as much trim in a while. Got it. Sweet. All right. Plane trimmed. How we doing? Close enough. Now, the fun thing is, in the real plane, when you go like this, your gas gauge goes, "Aw." And then you go like this, and the gas gauge goes, "What?" And goes shooting back up because it sloshes around in the tanks. It's one of those things that no flight simulator I've ever played has ever gotten that actually correct. You know, just pulling up your controls like this would make all your fuel gauges go to 0 for a second. It's kind of fun. I'm sure there's somebody who lives up this way. All right, 1,000 feet. Go ahead and level off. Nice dumb Jimbo. Greek Isles next. Actually, to be honest, next, PMDG released the DC-6 a couple weeks ago, as some of you are familiar with. And the only place I can think of on Earth, as far as doing anything along those lines, would be like Panama or like, Colombia or Venezuela or something along those lines. So don't be surprised if you see that. Curious Peak, take a peek. I'm glad that I was able to help. Sorry. No, it's great to see you, Curious Peak. Great to see you. Like I said, I've got some stuff for DCS coming out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully you like. I've also got some other stuff, which I will, and you might actually get to see what it looked like pretty soon. But I'll get to that when I get to that. All right, I'm going to swing over to this way. Our airport this time, or runway, I should say, is going to be right there on the left. It's the other green grass one. Start reducing speed right away here. I'm going plenty fast. Yeah, that's going to be it right there. Go ahead and zoop. And that's going to be it. That big old green nastiness. By the way, if you messed this landing up, guess you're swimming. It looks like a miniature vertical assembly building. I love it. All right, I'm going to start slowing down immediately. We're going to have to come in like a helicopter for this one. There we go. Oh, man, these runways are tiny. This does remind me of when we flew in the Caribbean. haven't actually checked the world map, but I love it causing shenanigans like this. Shenanigans and goings-ons, if you like. Grumpy Luke, I'll see you at the... Oh my gosh, that guy's right next to me. All right, come down. I think the forums would be a hell if they actually simulate that. Why is my tank suddenly empty, Bug? No, that's what it does, though, I swear. I've got enough flying experience, and like I said, if things go the way I want them to, you get to see a little bit more flying experience pretty soon. Apparently, this is not the primary runway we should be using here, but that's all right. All right, this is how this works. A head to the shed would have to pass me on my left for me to go ahead and begin my second part of my descent here. So technically, I begin my turn into landing right when he crosses there. So that would be the moment. And I'll bring my nose gently over to the left here. Yeah, so the first coordinated turn, I've done well with these new rudder pedals. It's going to be another very short base, guarantee it. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to kind of square it off, look back out the window. And I'm a little off, but not bad. All right, go ahead and bring ourselves around. It's like the first one that's actually decent for me today. And I can take my time on this corner here because the winds are fairly strong. Here's a fun thing you can do in this airplane. You can sit up in the front seat and go like this and go, ah, there it is. And straight ahead. Perfect. All right, let's put this thing down on the ground. Get ourselves to our 60 knots. Check our flaps. Check our gear. Oh my, if I mess this landing up, I am going swimming. So shame on anybody who's behind me. Now, it's actually interesting, Makeify, when it comes to fuel gauges, I know that we don't need to know this, the best fuel gauges are the ones that count how much gas you've used, as opposed to ones that how much gas you have. Those are extremely reliable ways to calculate how much gas you got on board. Oh, we'll get ourselves a little bit of a crosswind here. Say hi to Max. That was fun. Oh, you guys all take the easy runway. I always get the hard one. I'm actually going to just plant it. I'm not even going to like try to flare it or anything like that. Oh, excuse me. Whoa, beep, 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 beep. Oh, this was downhill too. Oh, that's not safe. Nice. That was fun. All right, let's go ahead and turn this thing around and get ready for our next landing. Now, Winter Bridge, it does not look safe. All right, I'm going to make my way carefully up this hill here. How's it going, Simon? I see you're waiting for me. I'm MigFlow. How's it going? Is that MigFlow as in the Mikoyan Gorevich, or is that MigFlow as in the MiG Welder? All right, this little marker apparently tells us that's the beginning of our runway. Go ahead and bring us around. Imagine how wet and nasty this gets after a rain. Just got to think about it that way. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm sure I'm blocking somebody here. Oh, not this time. Awesome. Oh, we're going to do a formation takeoff, apparently. 1 notch of flaps. Smoothly apply full throttle. Go ahead and pull back on the yoke. And let's get going. Oh, I don't like this. This is really short. It makes it more fun, though. Rob Fisher Music. I wonder if that's an advertisement. Excuse me, Rob. Sorry. And we are on our way again. Now we're going to be heading up towards our final destination here. Not the movie, of course. Hopefully not our final destination, but that's perfectly fine. MigFlow, you got the right idea. All right, this is a pretty short flight to an incredibly short runway. I think you folks will like it. All right, I'm just going to kind of point in this direction. It looks like there's nothing but ocean, but believe it or not, that's where we're going. All right, coming around this way. Excellent. All right, gonna give myself a little bit of trim here. I don't get the trim in Microsoft. You press and hold it, then it speeds up. I wish it didn't do that. All right, let's see how everybody's doing behind us. Everybody's on the way. Nice. Everybody getting, I think their brakes are starting to get a little hot at this point. Okay, so our next runway is, oh my. It's tiny. It's tiny. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Now, I have a friend who actually prefers doing grass landings as opposed to landing on the tarmac because he says, oh, it helps you slow down better. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, as long as it's not a snow landing. All right, level ourselves off. Plenty of trim. Check my switches. Looks good. And there we go. I think this is the most effort I put into this Cessna 152. This particular model. I usually fly the normal one. The Aerobat's just kind of fun. It's just so light. All right, so this runway is the exact same configuration you've seen in everything so far. There's going to be one tarmac runway, and there's going to be a pair of grass runways. Again, feel free to pick whichever one you want. I'm going to have to take the grass runway because that's just kind of been our theme today. All right, pretty well lined up at this point. Got to nose down just a tiny bit. This thing just wants to climb, just like the real one. One big difference between the real world and the simulators, I gotta say, is that in the simulator, the plane will just be very difficult to kind of groove. In the real world, the plane, you just trim it a little bit, it just stays where you want it to be. Exactly. Now, the worst trim ever is, if anybody's ever familiar with the actual, the Boeing 737, there's actually a giant wheel by your right foot that when you press the electronic drum, the actual wheel itself will rotate to indicate the position of the trim. So there's a little handle that pops out of that actual wheel. And obviously, if you hit the trim button and that thing welcome back to tonic fall, by the way. And if you actually were to run that thing up at full speed, of course, it could nail you in the knee. And it's trim, and it's electric, and it's an airplane. And you know exactly what it's going to do, your poor kneecaps there. All right, so for this landing, I'm just going to go ahead and take a nice super wide base here rather than try to do an aggressive landing. So the first runway you're actually going to see here, this is our tarmac one. This is not the one we're using. The one I'm using is this one right here, the super duper thin one. Sorry, God. Trust me, it's a nightmare. I just go on Google and type in such and such time to such and such time because it's the only way in the universe I can ever remotely keep any of this straight. Because there's a British summertime, but there's also UTC. It just makes me insane. All right, that is not our runway. My runway today is going to be this one right here. Nice. All right, we're just going to take this as one extremely long base. Nose over just a teeny tiny bit. Looks good. There we go. Nice. I'm actually going to dump all sorts of flaps down. I still haven't found any sheep. I'm very confused. Now notice I've been very, very cautious to make... it's more... Yeah, so notice I have not made any comments about Scotland or Scottish or anything along those lines. I know all the stereotypical ones. So I'm just going to skip it. It's just easiest. Definitely, I need to visit the UK at some point myself. I've always wanted to do that. Like, my goal is to basically get on a train and just kind of go north, sort of a thing. I believe that is, like, the way to view the UK, but I could be completely wrong. We're in the East USA server, Mario. All right, this has actually been the better landing I've done so far, and I think it's because it's I took my time. All right, got ourselves a little bit of a crosswind. I'm going to push my nose over just a little bit, and down we go. All right, definitely got that crosswind is very real here, so I'm going to use my crabbing technique. I'm not going to do wing low because I'm lazy. Nose down. We're going to go ahead and bring the thing around, left tire down, and we're just going to smoothly plant it. Nice. All right, pull my stick back towards me. And we are here again. All right, everybody ready for the final landing? Let's bring ourselves around here. I'm going to go line ourselves up. Oh, you are just always ahead of me, head to the shed. I don't know how you do that. Same thing with Simon. You're just always ahead of me. This is a Simon knockoff, by the way. SD, I'm just saying. I believe this is a helicopter. I call this a hunch, but this is a helicopter. No. That wasn't a smoking tire, that was a smoking airplane. Oh, okay, so apparently that's tremendously expensive. Bummer. All right, line ourselves back up. A little bit of brakes. Okay. Make sure everything's working nice and smooth still. I haven't damaged the airplane a lot. All right, okay. All right, full throttle. Release the brakes. Yoke towards me. Yes, the H-135 actually recently uninstalled it. It was making me crazy. All right, gentle up. The airplane will fly when it's ready to fly. I love these, like, not even landings in, like, runways. It's just, it's so much cooler. Runways, by the way, in the real world are not flat. Con, if you want to join us for our final landing, it's Echo Golf, Echo November. We'll see you there. JM26 asks, is the VR improvement improved? I find that it's a lot better than it was, especially if you're in a region where everything has been preloaded. The only lag I see graphically in this program ever is pulling in photogrammetry into a specific zone or satellite imagery. The reason this is running like butter is it's already been cached, and like I said, there's not a lot of terrain here, so it's not bad. But if you load up something like, Paris, France, or something like that, and you want to kind of cruise around that in VR, anything that's got like a glass cockpit is going to melt your face. So be very, very cautious with that. By melt, it's going to heat up the unit, so it's going to get hot and sweaty. That's what I mean, literally and figuratively. But I fly this in VR all the time, too, because I just really enjoy it. If you fly anything like an airliner, you're going to suffer no matter what device you're using, VR or otherwise. Okay, so now we're going to be heading up to North Ronaldsay, which is Echo Golf, Echo November. This will be our point of landing here. And we'll go ahead and compare fuel tanks and see how everybody did here. Myself a little bit of nose up real quick. And we're just going to make our way down to this last little landing. And to make things extra fun, I'm actually going to turn on live weather to see exactly how nasty it really is today. Fingers crossed that it's not going to be something that I'm going to have to change. Let's find out. Live weather. Ow. Whoa! Oh, look at the... Oh, yes. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Oh, look at the ocean. Oh, my. Everybody's like, why are you passing? What's going on? Oh, my. Okay, folks, this just got a little bit more exciting. We'll see exactly what happens when we actually get to our destination. Sorry, Simon, I didn't mean to cut you off like that. Swing around nice and gently. Oh, my gosh, look at the sky. Look at the white caps in the ocean. I feel like I'm going into a headwind because this thing just stopped flying. Let me take a look straight down here. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, I don't recommend anybody take a boat in this water right now. If it's a small boat, you're going to be chundering right out the side there. All right, let's make this one count, shall we? So unfortunately, we have no ATIS. There's no way for me to determine. Somebody was live weather the whole time. Oh man, I feel sorry for you. That would have been a bumpy ride. 23 knot headwind. So the wind is so strong we can effectively land like a helicopter. So we're not in trouble. Not in trouble. My gosh, we are not moving. This is incredible. So apparently the wind gets stronger as you head north. I guess that's the rule here. Oh man, I'm doing 85 knots ground speed, and my indicated is 118. That is amazing. Oh, this is going to be an easy landing. By the way, when you do land, when you go to turn off the runway, it's going to snap you around, so watch out for that. Okay, our final landing is going to be right in the middle of the sky. It's going to be right on the left-hand side. You can see some of the hangar buildings kind of kicking around. At least the turbulence isn't bad. I can deal with strong winds, but turbulence is nasty. All right, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Push my nose back down. I cannot believe... Ugh. Let's see what's right here. Right in there looks like a good spot to land. Now, folks who live in Scotland, is this every day, or what's the deal with this? Oh, I can look straight up. Oh, no. Oh, man. I love it. This is so cool. Oh, man, this thing's just not moving. There's our runway right there. Lucky for us, the wind is mostly coming out of the north. How do I know? As my ground speed is squat. If I look straight down, what does the airplane want to do? It wants to go this... hold on, let me look. It's kind of going... Yeah, so it's a slight crosswind, but it's... Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. So now the trick here is get your aircraft to go about, I don't know, 35, 40 knots or so. Put the flaps all the way down, and then see if you can land within 10 feet. It's just fun. Oh man, this is a little extreme. I'm glad we didn't use this for our weather the whole time. This would have been a 4-hour flight. Yeah, there's a runway. Here we go. Should probably light myself up like a Christmas tree. It's kind of dark now. Oh man, at least I know I'm not going to have an issue with runway space. Now, I bet you if I killed my throttle, the plane would just and basically end up in the drink. one of my videos for next week is dealing with in-flight emergencies, and wind has a huge impact on whether or not you're going to successfully land again. All right, there's the runway. Start our descent. Now, anybody who wants to do the crosswind landing, which is coming from over this way, have fun. I'm not even going to bother. Not in this airplane. You don't have nearly enough rudder control in this plane. And here we go. This is a runway tree, by the way. Oh my. Let's see how slow we can come down. Reaper MD, hello? This is great. So, like, you never have to worry about landing distance here if you're flying one of these. Let's see how we're doing. Oh my gosh, I think cars drive slower than this. There's a really fun game that we always used to play with the small planes, is you had a shadow on the plane from the sun. So what you do is you pick a car on the ground and you cover that car with a shadow, and you just keep the cars inside of that shadow the entire flight as long as you can, just to spook. Just kind of fun. Okay, I'm doing a 40 knots indicated here. Looking out the window. Yeah, we're barely moving. This is great. Yeah, getting a little bit of a crosswind. It's not bad. Yeah, but you can't put all those windmills up. They're going to slow the rotation of the Earth. And we're going to do ourselves a nice little crab here. Convert that into a wing low. So I'm going to point the nose of the runway. I'm going to get tilted to the side a little bit. That's funny. Let's do this! Nicely done. Oh my gosh, I might not make the runway. All right, there we are. There we are. Nose power off. Whoa. This is so awkward. We're here. All right, folks, as always, I like to ask if anybody's got any... Look at that. That's what I call it, landing distance. That's sweet. I thought that was a... Oh, oopsies. I guess it was a taxiway. Oh, well. All right, folks, as always, when we get to the end, I always like to ask if anybody has any questions or anything that you guys would like to see in future videos. Coming up the next week, we got a bunch of things in emergencies. I'll manage to find somebody who is working on their multi-engine rating, and they're going to give us a cool little preview of what it's like to fly a multi-engine airplane. I think you guys will like that. Also news, like I said, if somehow things work out the way I hope they will, you might just get to see a little bit of flying in the real world on this channel as well, which I think you guys will get a kick out of as well. A little redundant, obviously. So as usual, anybody have any comments, questions, things you'd like to see, ideas for future flights? Don't forget, by the way, if you'd like to come into our great little photo here, you want to make your way over here right now. You've got the right idea, Jambone. It's exactly how I feel sometimes. Do the best I can to kind of capture a little photo here. That is so funny. See, the problem is I can't do this as an animated GIF, because this would be so funny to actually show off like that. While you guys are sorting that out, I think I forgot to change the setting. Oh, I did forget to change the setting. I was flying your controls the other day, and we had to actually do that. Is the taxi marking really a taxi marking? It looks like the end of the runway, but it's also a turnaround. I don't know. I don't live here, so unfortunately I cannot speak to the nature of this. But it looks like we got an amazing turnout today. This is really cool. Fortunately, I can't zoom out any more than this. Let's get Mobius again. Actually, we can zoom in just a teeny tiny bit for once. Can you indicate spawn on airport? Sure. If that's something you guys would like to do, I can definitely arrange that dress if that's easy. We actually didn't have one this time, so it was a little bit more difficult to do. Whoop, a couple more people trying to get in the picture here. Go do one of those. Nice. It's so great. I think almost everybody here has been here before. Loaded alarm. I missed you earlier. All right, I'm looking around to see if anybody has any other questions. Of course, now that we don't, I'm going to slowly start making my way over to the end of the runway to cause some things. Oh, they're designed to keep the sheeps cool. Thanks, Simon. That's what I thought it was. I wasn't sure. We actually have a bunch in the area where I am. Not too far away. I like all the flashing lights. That's just getting me kicked. All right, let's go swing around. Okie dokie. Let's go swimming. All right. Oh, I was actually going to take the Diamond DV20 for this one, seeing as I just did that the other day. Give everybody a wiggle, make sure they're working. Okay, let's go ahead and now put our controls way into the wind, which of course is coming off to our right there. And let go. Let's see what happens. Oh my, I can't get this thing in a straight line. Oh, we could fly some more. Oh, no, 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 no. The wind's going to kill me before I get in the air. Nope, saved it. You're always welcome to fly. Actually, it's about lunchtime, and I've got a clandestine meeting this afternoon. Like I said, I'm gonna have some pretty fun videos for you guys, and actually the real world flying coming up pretty soon. So I think you guys will get a kick out of that. Like I said, at some point I had to finish it. Oh, I love this water. Oh yeah, there's a fish right there. I'm just gonna grab him right there. All right, guys, have a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, whatever the equivalent is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Next time, I'm hoping to do something in South America with big 4-engine Brumbly airplanes, but obviously pretty much anything will do for that particular purpose. Thanks as all for coming by, and hopefully I see you guys again in the future. Enjoy.